All right, guys. So the next step we're going to talk about is the actual presentation. Now, in my opinion, the presentation is one of the most overranked, overvalued side of what it is inside of the overall sales presentation process. As we've already went over, the relationship side is going to let them humanize you and allow you to build a little relationship. The discovery, in my opinion, is the most important part for us to get not just us to learn what the customer's issues are, but more importantly, them communicate those issues to us as well. Because if we don't ever get them to admit it, as we talked about before, we didn't earn the right to actually sell the solution. If we've done that effectively, we really made them feel the pain of what we're going to ultimately try to solve in the next part. Before we get to the presentation side, we're even doing that soft close where we're recapping all of the highlights and kind of setting the agenda for the presentation. Now, here's where a lot of people make mistakes when it comes to the presentation. We're going to cover that side first. You guys likely are going to have some sort of a sales presentation deck, and I've seen presentations done in one of three ways. I've seen it done on a sales deck, I've seen it done live in the environment, and I've seen it done just by speaking and talking to people. Now, I almost always like the presentation deck because I think that kind of guides the customer's eyes to what I want to emphasize in presentation. So often I've seen companies that want to emphasize getting into their product. So if they're selling a solution, a product, they want to actually get into the tool because they're so impressed with what the tool is and they believe the customer will be too. But even if you have a super robust tool, getting into the tool likely is going to overwhelm and confuse a customer because the more you go into your robust tool, the more complicated this decision process makes. So for me, I want to aid my customers into visual aesthetics that are going to drive my point home, that are going to allow me to emphasize the points that I'm going to sell on. So why I don't like to just talk through the issues, but I like to show a presentation that emphasizes those things is because it gives me the opportunity for me to speak to and give them a different visual aid at the exact same time. So I'll create my presentation deck, and this is why the value of not just going straight from a discovery and a soft close into the presentation allows me to make a more tailored presentation deck specifically for what I'm going to solve. So almost my whole career, I've gone straight into that solution presentation right then and there, but I find myself having to kind of skip around and jump on a few things because I don't want to make the mistake that so often people do where they present the same thing to every customer every time. So the new process I have is that, and it's worked out far better, which is do your discovery, do your soft close, end that call, set a follow-up call the very next day where you're going to provide a solution, start that call with your soft close again, and then present your personalized presentation deck for the solution that you're going to offer. And why this is valuable is don't waste your time talking about the things that you didn't earn the chance to talk about. And where you earn the right to talk about these things is in your discovery. So for me, I go through my discovery, I do my soft close, and then I only present the selling points that I got the customer to admit to in my discovery. And if I didn't get them to admit it, I did not earn the right and should not waste mine and the customer's time talking about things that the customer didn't admit is important. Now, once again, if there are things in your deck that are really important for you to sell the value of your service, then it's on you in your discovery to get them to admit to those things being of need. But at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do with my presentation is generally go through a 10 to 20 minute presentation, specifically talking on the things they said they like, ensuring them they would not lose those, and then talking about the things they said they need help with, giving them assurances that we can solve those problems. From there, we'll move to the last part, which we'll cover in the next video.